Let's talk about this particular story. I love this story. This is Just Stop Oil. Did I give it to you? I think you got it. Just Stop Oil, they ship their T-shirts from 4,000 miles away. Now, this was similar to the story when I exposed one of the founders of Just Stop Oil, who was driving a diesel still to take her children to school and after-school clubs in, I think, the Cotswolds, where she lived. The eco-warriors, notorious for disrupting traffic, bring in merchandise that is imported from 4,000 miles away in the Dominican Republic. Senior Tory Sir Ian Duncan Smith said that Just Stop Oil was demonstrating its do what I say, not as I do attitude. I mean, Just Stop Oil, they are hypocrites, and they are a blight on society, aren't they?
I mean, look, if I was doing Just Stop Oil's PR, which is not a job I would ever do, but if I was, I would say, do you think that maybe you should source those T-shirts from such absolutely watertight, ethical places that no one could ever dream of putting you on the front page of the Express to complain about this? That's the first thing I would say to them. So they're not very bright, are they? I just think, look, I don't think that Just Stop Oil has done some important things because they get people to talk about just stopping oil, and they get people to talk about climate change more generally, which I think is a good thing. And no protest movement has ever sort of proceeded without disruption or without opponents. A lot of, we talk about the suffragettes all the time and all that stuff. People hated them, they complained about them, and they said you should do this through peaceful or non-violent means, etc., and without disrupting anyone's life. And the fact of life is that when you want to change things, you do sometimes need to disrupt things as well. Do I like the organisation? No. Do I think they've made mistake after mistake? Absolutely. OK, well, they're a bunch of hypocrites, but Jonathan overwhelmingly supports them. I'm joking. I'm only pulling your leg at Christmas, Jonathan.
Oh, well, I mean, you know what I think about Just Stop Oil. I think that they're half-wits. I think that if they weren't half-wits,
this is half-wit behaviour, right?
Yeah, of course it is. And if they weren't, they'd probably be working in a slightly more effective organisation, working for the aims that they want. I don't think that they are particularly effective. I think that there are far more successful organisations that work to affect government policy when it comes to things like energy production. I think that these people are deeply self-indulgent, and I think that actually Jonathan's right. The very fact that nobody thought this through is a sign, frankly, that they just believe that whatever they do will end up going the way that they want it to.
They've called the UK authoritarian because 20 of Just Stop Oil spent Christmas Day in prison.
Well, they shouldn't have been. And there was an outrageous thing that a 77-year-old woman was returned to jail because they couldn't get a tag to fit around her wrist, and so she had to spend Christmas in jail. And she was, on bail. Well, she's returned. She's on early release. She was on early release.
Could have imported.
Look, I think that even you can have all kinds of complaints about Just Stop Oil. It is wrong to put people in jail for years for disrupting a road. I'm sorry.
Well, I think if you've been warned many times, maybe.
It's completely outrageous.
On that note, we must end it, and that's it for you as well, Benedict.
Good night from me.
It's good night from me.
It's like the two Roddies. Oh, that's nice, isn't it?